Now, Josh, let's talk about something that you're much more excited about, that both of us are much more excited about. As Sony was just like, Merry Christmas, everybody. Here's some game announcements. But they didn't give us like a overabundance of announcements.
It was nice.
Just the right amount for us to go. All of us with PS5s are just gloating, and everyone else is going, scalpers! As Sony just randomly decided, hey, today's our state of play. Let's announce some game stuff. And announce some game stuff they did. So there's a lot to go over. We've got a Knights of the Old Republic remake coming, which the irony is not lost on me that the original came out on Xbox, and now this will be a PS5 exclusive. So
Yeah.
that's very funny to me. Sony and Insomniac, who made the Spider-Man game, which we'll talk about, are making a Wolverine game, which the teaser for that was amazing. Spider-Man 2 is in the works, but it's not coming out until 2023, with the main villain being Venom, voiced by original Candyman Tony Todd. Oh, sweet Jesus, yes! We'll talk about that more, because I don't think Venom's the only major villain that they tease, obviously, in that trailer. What Josh will want to talk about the most, obviously, God of War Ragnarok's gameplay trailer, which, oddly enough for me, they said this will be the final Norse game, which I'm going, the second one is the final one? Okay, maybe my brain is just so programmed to go trilogy, but whatever. And then, obviously, the most important news for everyone out there, the thing that no one is talking about but me. I don't care. It's my podcast. Uncharted 4 is getting a PS5 remaster because, it didn't just come out 5 years ago. It doesn't really need a remaster because it's still one of the best looking games on PS4. But I don't care. Is this just going, oh, there's an Uncharted movie. Can we re-release something that's slightly prettier to do combined sales with? Sure, just slap a new skin on Uncharted 4 and suckers like Nathan will buy it. Because, yes, you're darn right I will, because there's any excuse to play Uncharted 4 again in slightly better resolution. Oh, yeah, I'm going to play that again. But, Josh...
it's going to be... It'll be great if, you go to play it, and it's, not even slightly better. It's, worlds better in resolution. And you're like, oh, I was not ready for this. Okay.
It'll look good, but the shooting mechanics will still be booty.
God, I hate those. Literally, and I know you and I have talked about this, the only reason that I find Uncharted games to be unplayable is the shooting mechanics.
The hit detection is so bad in all 4 games. It's so bad.
So much. 2, I was super down and super I'm playing the storyline. I'm like, this is great. I can't hit anything, but this is great.
No, the worst though for Uncharted is you get a sniper from really far away. You get it all lined up. You're just holding it just to make sure that the guy's not gonna pace. As soon as you fire, he walks to the side and you miss. You're like,
oh. There was, I have never had a game make me rage as much as Uncharted did, just because NPCs won't do what I need them to do.
And then an NPC will come out of nowhere and just shotgun you in the face. You're just like, where are you?
Oh, God. Oh,
but Josh, so if Josh keeps raging in Uncharted, then he will bring his own Ragnarok. Let's discuss God of War.
All right, dude. So what's really crazy is I think the first couple shots of the gameplay trailer, I thought were from the first game. They don't look necessarily that much different, which I think is a bold choice.
But then you see teenage Atreus, who I already want to slap in the face.
I think that's the point. I don't think at any point where I think this is just a extension of of the first game where you're useful sometimes. And
boy, I'm gonna slap you.
I like the arc that he goes through, but by the end, in the middle of God of War, was it 2018 God of War?
Yeah,
I think when he finds out he's a god, and oh god, there's a good 2 hours of gameplay in that game. I wanted to smack the living crap out of Atreus, but. I hope that continues. I hope that continues in Ragnarok because I think it's just going to add.
I wonder why he's acting like such a brat.
Okay,
it's almost like
here's
nothing for those that haven't played the game. There's he might be somebody else.
So, I think the the trailer does something that I was not expecting. I thought that does not necessarily give it. That does not give us a gameplay view of Thor. It talks about. We got a picture of Thor, but it does not
Yes,
give us
which
a
we can talk about that.
gameplay view. Yeah. It talks a lot about them trying to find Odin, and then
Don't
just
show Odin.
casually don't show Odin, and then shows us the one god that they said was dead the entire other first game. Tyr. And I'm so here for it, because you know what? If I'm so excited, because if this is the last Nordic game, that means we're going to other cultures, baby. Let's go.
Egypt.
Oh, dude, Kratos versus Anubis is
Raw.
gonna be I'm
Kratos
so
versus
ready.
Anubis, dude.
I'm just
If you
so
fight in
ready.
hell, oh, dude.
Oh, dude, there's just so much, so exciting, and I think that's why they're not doing a trilogy. They're doing the rigmarole. They're doing to every mythology. Why not? Why
But
not?
then again,
what could possibly go wrong?
At least to me, there's so much you could have gotten out of the Norse mythology. Like, there's so much lore there that you could explore. But then again, maybe their story is so tight and compact and well done in this one that they don't need more, or they don't want to just, like, bleed it out just for the sake of sequels, which I can respect that. Let's get into the thing that's causing quite a bit of discussion online. What do you think of Thor's design? I, for one, am all about it. I really, really like it. I think so many people are just expecting, like, MCU, to which I'm just going, y'all, if you know anything about Norse mythology, Chris Hemsworth looks nothing like Thor.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely all about it. I can't. There's a part of me that wishes he would, like, put a shirt on, because I don't want to. But, it makes sense at the same time. No, I'm super
But his
down
state
with
of
it.
mind says the thunder rolls, and he has rolls too.
Here's the thing. Given that you fight his sons in the first one, and I hate calling. I don't know why I keep calling it the first one. And it's 2018 God of War.
It's just God of War.
His appearance here is not that surprising, given what his sons look like.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're going. It's obvious they're going with a much more traditional look, and I'm here for it. So here's my take on why we're done with the Nordic part, right? So basically the whole reason we're in the Nordic world is kind of wrapped up nice and tight in the first one, in the 2018 God of War. The only reason we were there is because of Kratos' now dead wife. So who is to say they don't get either run out or just maybe they have to leave for certain reasons. I'm pulling it right now. I think you meet Tyr in the first third of the game.
Oh, I think a lot of this footage is from the first third of this game.
Dude, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we are no longer in the Nordic world by the end of the game.
No, I'm still expecting Odin to be the big final boss, because it's got to be. But I think a lot of the gameplay that they show in this trailer, if you watch, like, the details in the backgrounds and who he's fighting, it looks a lot like it's all in the same spot. So I would not be surprised if it's the first, like, maybe hour or two of the actual game. And God of War is typically about, what, 25 to 27 hours, more or less. Like, Uncharted 4 was 23 or 24, and God of War was slightly longer than that. So if this is on PS5, which, good luck with scalpers, Josh, because this is going to be a PS5 game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 30-hour game or a 35-hour game.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just looking forward to PS5 games actually coming out, as opposed to just replaying PS4 games, because pandemic has been sucky for all the kinds of reasons, but also has halted production on a lot of games, as I'm still over here waiting on Lego Skywalker Saga. But
yeah. So, I think the trailer gave me just enough to be like, okay, cool. This is still a thing that's happening. Let's keep. All right, they're doing something else with it. They give us, the trailer gives you just enough bite for you to wait for it.
Now, let's talk about the Spider-Man trailer very briefly, and then we'll move on to our last news topic. That, before Venom shows up at the end, I'm just going, oh, so Kraven's the main villain for this game. Because the voiceover, first of all, Russian accent, talking about wanting to hunt something that's his equal that might finally be able to beat him someday. I'm going, oh yeah, that's absolutely Kraven. Also, add to the fact that Kraven wasn't in the original game whatsoever, makes me really, really excited, because we both really, really like Kraven the Hunter, and I'd be very curious to see what Insomniac do with him, because everything about that first Spider-Man game was written so well, everything was executed so perfectly. It's one of, if not the best portrayals of Spider-Man this side of jailed Drake Bell, but Doc Ock was excellent, so I'd be very curious to see what Kraven the Hunter does. I wouldn't be surprised the way that this trailer was edited together. And here's, maybe I need to bring the hat back. This is totally out of left field and nothing to support this whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if Kraven is Venom this time around.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. Because technically anybody can be Venom, but yeah.
I know the game has set it up that Harry will be it because he's in the tank, spoiler alert for the first game, but wouldn't it be cool is if the first fight, you fight Kraven as maybe Spider-Man and Miles teaming up together as a team-up fight, but at the end of the game, you have to rematch Kraven when he's Venom in Venom form. I think that would be cool. Very interesting. Because
super cool.
Kraven's scary enough by himself.
Give him a Venom suit, and I'm just like trying to imagine what a Venom Kraven would look like, and I'm all about it. And I think the fact that we're so excited for the next Spider-Man game because of the success of the first one, I think is why normally I'd be super hesitant of a Wolverine game, but it is literally because of Insomniac and Sony and what they did with that first Spider-Man game. I'm literally, I mean, the trailer's really cool for Wolverine, but like. Yeah. I'm here for it. Absolutely. Given the studio that's behind it, now we're not just gonna get a Wolverine, a God of War clone game that is just with a Wolverine skin on it.
That wasn't a bad game though. I'll say that. I will say though.
Yes, but it wasn't like a Wolverine game, you know.
Well, look at the movie it's based off of. They didn't have a lot of material to work with. But I thought that trailer for Wolverine was excellent. I showed it to Heather and she was like interested, and then you see the close-up of the hands and the claws pop out, and she's just immediately just, oh! Like, they did a good job of just immediately making you go, oh, that's what this game is, and now I need to play it. That was a very effective trailer. So, by and large, well done, Sony. You've got a lot of games that I'm really, really excited about.
I got one more thing to say.
Uh-oh.
And I think this is important.
Make PS5s available?
The fact that Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake by Sony in the world where games technically in the Star Wars universe technically have to be canon makes Darth Revan Star Wars canon.
I thought he already was. I thought like Clone Wars.
Mentioned him.
I thought Clone Wars either mentioned him or.
We'd have to search for it. I think. Let us know down in the comments. But like at the same time. Like, this is official. Like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, he's mentioned. It's another thing to be like, no, he shows up, and this is where he is. Like, you know, so.
And that trailer was awesome.
It's so cool. It's a little weird that they're upfront calling it a remake, which almost makes it feel like they're just going to take the old game and remaster it, which I hope is not the case.
No, because they called Final Fantasy VII a remake, and that was different than the original.
That's fair. So, regardless, this makes Darth Revan actual canon, and that's super cool to me.